"Would you please tell me," said Alice timidly, "why are you painting those roses?" 5 and 7 looked at Two, but said nothing. Two began in a low voice, "Why, miss, the fact is, this ought to have been a red rose tree, and we put a white one in by mistake. And if the Queen was to find out, we should all have our heads cut off. So, you see, we're doing our best before she comes to—" At this moment, 5, who had been looking anxiously across the garden, called out, "The Queen! The Queen!" and the 3 gardeners instantly threw themselves flat upon their faces. There was a sound of many footsteps, and Alice looked round, eager to see the Queen. First came 10 soldiers carrying clubs. These were all shaped like the 3 gardeners, flat and oblong, with their hands and feet at the corners. Next, the 10 courtiers. These were all ornamented with diamonds, and walked 2 and 2, as the soldiers did. After these came the royal children. There were 10 of them, and the little dears came jumping merrily along, hand in couples. They were all ornamented with hearts. Next came the guests, mostly kings and queens, among whom Alice recognized the White Rabbit. It was talking in a hurried, nervous manner, smiling at everything that was said, and went by without noticing her. Then followed the Knave of Hearts, carrying the king's crown on a cushion, and last of all this grand procession came the King and Queen of Hearts. When the procession came opposite to Alice, they all stopped and looked at her, and the Queen said severely, "Who is this?" She said it to the Knave of Hearts, who only bowed and smiled in reply. "Idiot," said the Queen, turning up her nose, and asked Alice, "What's your name?" "My name is Alice, so please your Majesty," said Alice boldly, for she thought to herself, "Why, they're only a pack of cards. I needn't be afraid of them." "Who are these?" said the Queen, pointing to the 3 gardeners lying round the rose tree, for as they were lying on their faces, and the pattern on their backs was the same as the rest of the pack, she could not tell whether they were gardeners, or soldiers, or courtiers, or 3 of her own children. "How should I know?" said Alice, surprised at her own courage. "It's no business of mine." The Queen turned crimson with fury, and after glaring at her for a minute, began in a voice of thunder, "Off with her!" "Nonsense!" said Alice, very loudly and decidedly, and the Queen was silent. The King laid his hand upon her arm, and said timidly, "Remember, my dear, she is only a child." The Queen turned angrily away from him, and said to the Knave, "Turn them over." The Knave did so, very carefully, with one foot. "Get up!" said the Queen in a shrill, loud voice, and the 3 gardeners instantly jumped up, and began bowing to the King, the Queen, the royal children, and everybody else.